why should you have a routine? Why is it important if you want to be successful? Watch this video till the end and you'll have all the answers you need. Right guys, today is Sunday, so it's an unusual day. My routine is not exactly as it is during the week, but there are some semblances. So what I did today was start my day off with a nice bike ride. Well, let's be fair, an e-bike ride, so I didn't have to spend any energy essentially, but still it was a nice bike ride, got a bit of nature, and that is usually the vibe with which I like to start my days. Get out, see a bit of nature and do some exercise. That is the ideal way for me to get started. So let's go back in time, enjoy a few clips of my bike ride around Guinshu Beach and carry on with the video. Just gone 9 o'clock and I just went for a nice bike ride from my house around the Guinshu Beach, which was really nice to start the day off. And now I'm at this calisthenics gym, and you guys know I'm usually a gym guy, so this is going to be a bit of an adventure, but I wanted to film an outdoors workout using body weight, using resistance bands, just to show you how we could get moving a little bit, and it doesn't need to be inside the gym. And obviously this is not my workout of choice, but let's get to it. Back home from my workout, and now is one of my favorite parts of the day, which is my first meal. So since I'm in a cut, I'm trying to lose body fat, I tend to work out fasted, and that works fine for me. I feel no loss of energy whatsoever, no loss of strength, so it works absolutely fine. And that way I can have these nice big meals which leave me pretty full but still allow me to be in a deficit. So what do I do specifically related to routine and related to meals? First of all, I usually have around the same number of meals, which is 3 per day. If I'm in a bulking phase, I'll usually have 4, simply because I need to consume more calories. And this is the great thing about routine. If you already know what you're going to do, you don't need to waste time making choices, because the choice is already made for you. You know, okay, I'm going to eat it around 12, I'm going to eat it around 4, and I'm going to eat it around 8. That's done. I don't need to think about going for snacks or anything else. No, that's the time where I eat. That's the time where I'm going to eat. So that decision is already made for you. And that just helps you waste less mental energy. You can focus on things that actually matter. Decision making really is one of the greatest interferences with our ability to clearly think. So I would highly advise that you try and create a schedule for yourself regarding meals and stick to it. Also, another thing which I do related to food, which is connected to the routine thing, is I meal prep on a Sunday. Now, that doesn't mean that I eat all the same meal throughout the week. So this meal, which is beef mince, which I'll usually, with this mixture which I have right now, which is roast potatoes, roast carrots, roast leek, and roast onion, or I'll have it with chickpeas, black beans, or kidney beans. So it really depends on my mood. But the beef mince is prepped, and this mixture of potatoes, carrots, onion, and leek is already done. so I don't need to think about that. And then I can just mix and match throughout the week according to my preference. Also, what I will do sometimes is have an egg meal instead of beef mince meal with this potato and onion and stuff mixture. So I can switch it up throughout the week, and I have a few options. Obviously, the eggs aren't prepped, they're just bought. And then I'll have other things. For example, I'll have either a light mozzarella meal or a protein shake meal, something like that. So those are things which aren't prepared already, but they're essentially already ready to go, and I won't lose more than 5 minutes getting the meal ready. So essentially, it's trying to make life as simple for yourself as possible throughout the week. When you have a day where you have a bit more time, such as Sunday or whenever you have a day off, try to take 1 to 2 hours to not only buy the food which you need to prepare throughout the week, but also to prepare a few meals so that you have less time wasted, less decision making throughout the week, which will really help you. Then there are just a couple of other tips. For example, get boiled beetroot instead of raw beetroot. The difference in price is not that high, and that way you don't lose time peeling the beetroot, boiling beetroot, all of that stuff. Another thing which I do is with fruits such as pineapple, which will last around a week if it's chopped up, is I also chop it on a Sunday, and I've got a big Tupperware full of pineapple ready to go whenever I need. And then the other fruits which I eat don't need a lot of preparation. Berries, mango, papaya, all of that stuff is really fairly simple. So now it's time to dig into this lovely meal, and yes, I am behaving very well because I'm in a deficit. If I were bulking, this meal could really be lasagna for all I know. But since we're in a deficit, whole foods only, trying to get a lot of nutrient-dense foods in me to fuel the rest of my day, to fuel my brain, and just to feel well, digest well, and everything. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I'm gonna dig in. Right, so let's carry on with the rest of the day. I've already had my first meal, done a bit of exercise, so that's already starting the day off on the right note. But let's dive a little bit deeper into the benefits of having a routine. Why is having a routine so important? Well, for one thing, it gives our life structure. And structure is very important for us to excel. Let's use this example. If you're trying to develop a project, and you have absolutely no lead, no frame, no structure, it's going to be much harder to actually meet a goal because you're not going to know where to start. You're not going to know what the goal is. You're not going to know how to get there. You're just going to be doing random things which you just remember to do. But they don't have a sequential order. They don't have a common final destination. So essentially you're going to be all over the place. Now you might eventually reach that final destination, but one, that could be luck, two, it could take much longer, and three, you could actually not complete the whole goal and only a part of it. By having structure, everything just flows better, it's more organized, we waste less time, we have a clear goal, a clear focus. And it's the same with a routine and a structure within our life. We know what we're working towards. Now that could be, for example, getting fitter, or gaining knowledge about a certain subject, or developing a business, or making sure that our family has the best environment possible, or giving the best education to our children, whatever it is. But we do manage our day within a certain structure to serve a certain purpose. So that's number one. Two, it eliminates decision making. And decision making, there are several studies about this. Decision making is actually very detrimental, especially for people who lack discipline and lack motivation. And if you're watching this video, then most likely you suffer from a little bit of that. To be naturally disciplined is hard, and the more choices that you need to make throughout your day, the harder it's going to be, because you have more yes or no choices. You have more options that will give you alternatives to what you should actually be doing. If opposed to that, you actually have these decisions pre-made, it's going to be much easier for you to actually stick to what you need to stick to. For example, when we're kids, we don't want to do our homework, but our parents tell us, okay, you can't watch any television, or you can't go and play with your friends until the homework is done. So this gives us a clear decision. We must do our homework because otherwise we're not going to be able to do whatever it is that we want to do. That clearly defines what's essentially right and wrong, but what's going to be good or bad for us. That's very clear, because bad, when we're kids, is not going to play with our friends, not going to watch TV. So we have to do our homework, and that way we get what is good for us. And it should be the same in our adult lives. We should understand, okay, I need to go and write for 30 minutes on my new blog, because that will get me closer to my goal. That will give new content for my readers. that will give me a better chance of being discovered, whatever it is, and that will ultimately help me reach, for example, an extra stream of income or reach financial independence or whatever it is that you are chasing. But it's pretty hard to get into that mindset. So how can you help yourself not have these choices, not have the choice to say, no, I won't do what I need to do? And here is where planning comes in. You could, for example, prepare your gym clothes and your gym bag on the day before you have to go to the gym. That way everything is laid out. You don't have to actually take time and prepare all of this stuff. You just see the stuff and you think, okay, I've got my kit ready, I need to go to the gym. You pick it up and you go. That's already a decision less that you have to do to make sure that you're going to stick to your goals. Another one is, for example, meal planning. If you have the choice of what to eat, a choice is I'm going to eat what I want to eat or I'm going to eat what I should eat. If you already have your meals prepped, you're not going to waste food, you're not going to waste money. So you're going to eat what you've already prepared, which in theory should be what you should be eating. So there we go, another decision eliminated. Let's take this all the way back to work or projects in being proactive. It's a little harder, but if we know that we get easily distracted by our phones, if we know that we get easily distracted by having the TV close to us, well, it's very simple. Get far away from that stuff. One, leave your phone in the other room if that's going to be a distraction. Make sure you have your computer, because I'm assuming that's what you're going to be working on, and make sure you don't have a TV around you. So even if you need to close yourself in the bathroom and work with the laptop sitting on the loo, that's going to be a better environment for you to be productive. It's going to be uncomfortable, so you're going to want to get what you need to get done as soon as possible, and you're not going to have the other distractions. That way you have a much better chance of actually accomplishing the tasks which you need to. And yes, I know it's hard, but if it were easy, then everyone would be extremely successful. So help yourself by eliminating decisions, and that is why the routine is so important. Create the habit of preparing your meals, create the habit of getting your gym bag ready, create the habit of working in an environment without any distractions when you need to do something proactive which you don't really feel like doing. All of this is ultimately going to contribute to your success. Now, I'm going for a walk on the boardwalk before we get into a few more reasons why a routine is so important. Okay, so I'm just finishing my walk and I wanted to wrap up this video explaining a few more reasons why you should have a routine. So we've already spoken about a lot of tips and tricks in order to help you have that routine, and also a lot of benefits. But there is one benefit which often is not mentioned, and that is that if you have a routine, you're going to feel extremely well. You're going to feel much happier. And believe me, this is coming from someone who for around 7 or 8 years did not have a routine. But in the past 2 years, I've worked really, really hard to become much more disciplined and regimented in my day-to-day, making sure that basically every action or every task that I have is conducive to the goals which I want to achieve in my life, to the life that I want to build. And that ultimately gives me a huge sense of satisfaction, of happiness, because I don't feel like I'm wasting time, and that's very detrimental, you know. Time is such a valuable resource that if you don't feel like you're using it in the best way, you're very likely going to feel demotivated, unhappy, all this sort of thing. So it's really, really important for your mental health and well-being to actually know that you're using your time in an efficient manner. Basically, I can tell you confidently that I'm not living for the weekend. I wake up every single day wanting to wake up, wanting to live that day, to follow the tasks that I have to follow to complete my checklist, because I'm ultimately living a life which I really, really enjoy. So take it from me, a routine which is well thought out, implemented into your life, is going to make a huge difference in your well-being. So that's where we're going to wrap the video up, guys. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your routine is, or at least your morning routine, for example. Let's have a chat. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this type of content. Leave me your thoughts and opinions, and that is it from me now. I will catch you in the next one.